Hello everyone and welcome back. My name is Mr. Covalt and in this video I'm going to be going over conversion factors. What are conversion factors? Let's get into this. So first of all, let's define a conversion factor. A conversion factor, in my own words, is a ratio that you are going to multiply by in order to convert a measurement or a measure from one unit to another unit. You're not changing the magnitude of the measurement. It's still the same magnitude. You're just changing what unit you are measuring that magnitude in. So, you first thing you start off is an equality. You need an equality between two units, right? So, for example, I have here my first one, 1 foot is equal to 12 inches. These two magnitudes, 12 inches and 1 foot, are equal to each other. It's the same magnitude, but you'll notice that they have different units. So I'm measuring the same length. This thing we call a foot is going to be measured in feet, or it can be measured in inches, or it can be measured in centimeters, or whatever the unit we care about. In order to convert from one unit to the other, we need an equality, a relationship between those units. That's where we get our conversion factor from. So here I have an equality of 1 foot is equal to 12 inches. Here I have an equality of 1 microgram is equal to 10 to the negative 6 grams. So remember that this funny looking M means micro, and micro means 1 millionth of a certain unit. In this case, it's grams. So 1 millionth of a gram, or 1 microgram, is equal to 1 millionth of a gram, because micro means 1 millionth. So that is an equality. Again, this magnitude is the same as this magnitude. It's just measured in different units. This is a much smaller unit, right? And then this is a much larger unit. Okay. So once we have the equality, right, between the two units, then we can set up our conversion factor. And so again, what I said here is it's a ratio. So ratios are like fractions. We have one over the other. So all I'm going to do once I have my equality, my relationship, I'm going to put it in a ratio. So I can put 1 foot over 12 inches like I have here. So 1 foot over 12 inches, or I can put 12 inches over 1 foot. I can flip it, right? So from every equality, you get two different conversion factors, two different ratios. One is the reciprocal of the other. One is the flipping of the other. One is flipped, the other is not. Now, and then I can do the same thing for this one as well. 1 microgram is equal to 10 to the negative 6 grams. I can put 1 microgram over 10 to the 6 or 10 to the negative 6 grams, or I can put 10 to the negative 6 grams over 1 microgram. And so I get, again, from this equality, I get two different conversion factors. Okay. Now, what do I have here? Let me explain the equality of one. And that goes back to the fact that these are equal in magnitude. So anytime you have one thing over another and those two things are equal, the ratio is one, right? So for those of you who know algebra, right, if I have x over x, that's going to be equal to one. They cancel out. You got one, right? If you prefer numbers, if I put 2 over 2, that's equal to 1. 2 is equal to 2, obviously, right? Or it could be 3 over 3. That's equal to 1, right? So same thing with your conversion factor. The conversion factor is equal to 1. Anytime that you multiply anything by 1, you're not changing what it is. So, what's the purpose of multiplying by something that's just equal to 1? Again, the purpose is not to change the magnitude of what you are converting. The purpose is to just change the unit. That's all we care about, right? And I'll show an example of that in a moment, and you'll see where I'm going with this. Okay, so conversion factors are ratios that equal to 1. And so the purpose is when you multiply by these guys, then you're just changing the unit. You're not changing the magnitude because, again, multiplying anything by 1 is not going to change anything, right? So again, going back to algebra, for those of you who like algebra, if I have x, if I multiply that by 1, guess what? I still have x, right? Or for those of you who like numbers, right? If I have 3 and I multiply that by 1, I still have 3, right? So same thing with conversion factors. You're multiplying by 1, so you're not changing the magnitude, you're only changing the unit. Okay, so let's do a very simple example so I can show you what I mean. So let's say I have 2 feet. I do have 2 feet. They're on the ends of my legs. Ha ha ha. So I have 2 feet. I want to convert that to inches. Well, how many inches is 2 feet, right? So my magnitude here is 2 feet. I don't want to change the magnitude to 3 feet, 4 feet, 1 foot. I don't want to change the magnitude. I just want to know like how many of a different unit is going to be equal to 2 feet. I want to measure this in a different unit. Maybe I'm interested in measuring something in inches because that's what my space is measured in, and I need to know if this is going to fit into this space, right? So what I do is, the first thing I do is I set this up as a ratio, and I'm going to put a 1 there. And then I multiply by the conversion factor. Now, here's the other question. So I'm going to set up the conversion factor because remember, the conversion factor is something you multiply by. So I need the multiplication sign, and then I'm setting up the ratio. Why? Because it's a ratio. I'm going to multiply by a ratio. So now the question is, which of these, right? I have feet equal to inches, right? So I want to know how many inches are equal to 2 feet. So I need a relationship between feet and inches, and I have it right here. 1 foot is equal to 12 inches. But as I said, we have 2 different conversion factors. Which one do I use? Well, the way to determine that is look at the unit you start with. That is not the unit I want. I want to change that unit. I want to convert that unit to inches. So how do I get rid of the unit that's on top? Well, I put it on the bottom of my conversion factor. Why? So they can cancel out. I want to get rid of it. I want to cancel it. So which one of these has feet on the bottom? This one. So I'm going to put feet on the bottom. Notice it's 1 foot. So I'm going to take my 1 foot. This side now goes on the bottom, which means that this side goes on top. So I'm putting one side on the bottom, one side on top. Which one? That's going to be determined by whatever unit is here. So whatever unit is on top, that unit has to be on the bottom of the following conversion factor. So now I have 12 inches on the top. So my feet cancel out. I have inches on the top. Once I have the unit on top that I want, I'm done. If I don't have the unit on top that I want, I got to do another conversion factor and try to get rid of this one and try to get the other one that I need on top. So this is inches. I want inches, so I'm done. So now all I need to do is multiply 2 times 12, divide by 1, which is, again, not going to do anything. So 2 times 12 is 24. And so my 2 feet is equal to 24 inches. Again, this is a really simple example. It's not meant to show you anything other than how to use the conversion factors. So it's easy to see using simple example like this. So all I'm interested in is changing the unit to a different unit. 24 inches is the same magnitude as 2 feet. I didn't change magnitude. All I did was change the unit that I'm measuring the magnitude in. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the purpose of conversion factors. Okay, so that's it for this video. I hope this made sense. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you learned from this video, if this was helpful in any way and you benefited, then please, by all means, like the video, share the video with your friends, hit that like button over there. Also, make sure you subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell. When you do, make sure you click all so you can be notified by all the videos I put out. And finally, put a comment down below in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Ask me questions. Let me know what you would like me to do in my next video. Do you have any suggestions? Do you have any questions I can answer? I would love to hear from you. Thanks for joining me and have a great day.